Out here first and foremost, good opportunity for our guys to change up from the first 9 days. First time we've been in front of the public a little bit, and so that's healthy. Just a healthy change for everybody, and then flipping it over. Just it's a good opportunity for us to have Kids Day. I think hopefully they enjoy it, and all of our guys were kids at one point. Even me at one stage, I was a kid, so that's good. And then the Kip Captain programs, I said yesterday, just a great concept, and nice to have our seniors get an opportunity to spend some time with them and greet them down here in the end zone. So, it was all good. And then just overall, just actually kind of pleased with what I saw today. I thought the guys moved around pretty well. Thought they had a good attitude, good focus. We had a good day yesterday that way. The guys really came out, and it was a non-contact day. The guys really handled it well and thought they were where they should be today, and relatively clean. First time we've had officials, but relatively clean. Certainly plenty of things to work on. There's gonna be a lot to clean up once we see the tape. But two things I feel really good about was first and foremost, big contrast from the field goal kicking from what all of you guys witnessed last spring, and coaches witnessed as well. I don't think we had a miss today. I don't think we did, and most of them weren't even close. One was, I know, but that was good. So a lot of growth there since April. We're not out of the woods yet. I'm not pronouncing us ready to go, but at least that's encouraging. The third down period I thought was really good too. That was encouraging. I thought we were pretty sharp there and did some good things. So those two things are good takeaways. And then the last part, just good to get a look at some of the younger guys with live football action. First time we've seen them being approved to be tackled. They tackle in practice when they're not supposed to. Some guys do, but first time we've seen them in live contact in action too. So, it's for daytime. It's a good place to be, and we got a lot of work to do still in the next 3 weeks. But just pleased with the guys so far. The attitude's been good. They're working at it hard, and I think we came out clean physically, at least so far. So that's good news.
How do you think your two freshman running backs handled today?
Well, good. They've been practicing really well since they got here, and I think I said this last spring. I was concerned about our depth. Really feel good about our 1-2 guys, but once you get past Gavin and LaShawn, we have no experience, and Devin's been hurt. He's missed a lot of time. So really anxious to see both Jazz and Caleb, and they've been practicing very well. Appear to be really mature young guys for first-year guys. So I thought today was a positive step.
How do you feel LaShawn's taking advantage of the opportunity to have that?
Well, we're just asking him to do more, get more reps, and I felt like he's a really good player last December. Really, we had total confidence going in the bowl game that those two guys would both play well, and I think they did. And LaShawn, I mentioned a year ago, spring's really when he started to ascend, in my opinion, and he's done nothing but just keep getting a little bit better. So it's fun to watch him. It's a fun part about football is watching guys get better, but it starts with their work habits and their attitudes. And LaShawn's got a great work ethic and great attitude, as does Gavin.
Spencer's always had good command of the offense, but he seemed to be playing with more confidence and,
I think so.
and throwing the ball like he can most of the time. Has he done that throughout camp thus far?
He has, and it's every position, whether you're talking about LaShawn or Gavin, or Spencer's a little bit older, a little bit more experienced. But I tell our guys all the time, if our best guys aren't improving, we're going to be in trouble. And that's Jack Campbell, you name it. Everybody's got to be getting better, and I think Spencer's done a really nice job. He's had a good 10 days so far, and I think Alex has improved too. So that's really encouraging. You see, Joe's still got a little ways to go, but he had a couple third down conversions today. That was a positive.
Wampa did have a few really good plays here today. What have you seen from him so far?
Who's that?
Xavier Wampa.
Yeah, I think kind of the same discussion. All the guys that got here in January, it's coming at them fast in the spring. And it's a credit to them. They do a good job, but it's like a different language. So now, he had all summer to digest things. Now he's had 10 practices underneath his belt. So my guess is we'll see him start to, kind of gain ground each and every day. He's a good football player, great young guy, and he'll be a good football player for us.
What was kind of your approach with the quarterbacks today? Alex and Joe got a lot of runs today, I would say. Spencer seemed just kind of not a ton of action, I guess. What was kind of your
mostly
thought
in the third down period, and that's a real important period. So, we feel like he's gotten a lot of good reps in camp already, in 9 days, and he's played a lot. So I think we know more about him, like what we've seen, like what we saw today. So now you're just trying to move everybody else a little bit forward too. And the tricky part about quarterbacks is we know there's only one of them, so it's not like a lineman where you can get the reps in there and steal reps. So so if somebody's in, somebody's got to sit, and that was kind of our thinking there. Give him a little bit more work today.
And third downs. Every time I looked up, it was third down, no matter what you did. So that was obviously a conscious effort too, right?
It's a big part of football.
Yeah.
And you got to get better at everything. But that's certainly, if you're going to win and lose, better get good at third down.
You had to juggle so much on the offensive line, and it seemed to be more players out than in. And going against your defense, that's not exactly an easy option for anybody, let alone second, third teamers or whatever. But how do you feel like they held up, and are you seeing the growth in certain areas that you really want to see?
I think so. Yes and no. Thought all season long last year that, again, we have access to practice. You guys get to see our team on Saturdays. So I saw that growth, and I think it, in the bowl game, it's probably as close as we were to, looking like we want to look. Not there yet, but and then, you move forward and spring, some guys in, guys out. And now in camp, unfortunately, you get guys injured in camp. The good news is, we're going to get everybody back at some point, hopefully in the near future, nearer the better. But, the guys that have been out there, we've seen good things from them. And, so it's just whoever's out there is out there. We'll move around. But I think we're seeing continued improvement with the whole group again. And, we're going to need, right now if we were playing, I'd say we probably got 6-7 guys that we probably could put in the game that would be ready to play. And then, we got to grow that number and get those 6 or 7 guys better. But at least we're moving in the right direction.
Kirk, with all the injuries with wide receivers, seems like tight end, that number 3 tight end spot's almost open. Stellano's obviously had a couple nice plays, but it seems like Addison Strang has really transitioned well to the program. Seems like, is he going to be in contention for potential time?
He is right now. We'll see what it looks like in 2 weeks. But again, injuries create opportunity, and or lack of depth, either one. So it's positions open, and Addison just, be curious to see the film and tape today. He had one really, mistake. It was just, a little bit of a focus thing. But, he's handled things pretty well. He doesn't seem overwhelmed. So, he's in the mix. And Stevens, it's kind of like the first, the guys got here in January, except he's closer to today than those guys. He's catching up to the language and all. It's a little different tempo for him, but great young guy. I think he'll keep getting better.
Sam was split out a few times. Is that by design because of Sam's skill set, or is that more by necessity itself?
Probably both. He has that ability, and that's good for us. Plus, unlike Steven, he's got experience in what we're doing, so he can handle it mentally as well as the physical part. And it gives us a little bit more flexibility depth-wise for sure. And so we'll keep toying around with that, and if we got to use it, we'll use it.
2 players who moved around a lot in the secondary today were Cooper and Sebastian Castro. How do you feel about both of their performances and how they've progressed so far?
Both guys are growing, and obviously Coop's younger than Sebastian. But Sebastian's still a young player as far as scrimmage plays, and he's last spring in this camp so far he's climbing the ladder, so that's good for us because we kind of glazed that over yesterday. I was thinking about that this morning, watching in our special teams meeting, watching some clips. And, we got a lot of guys back on defense, but we think about our back end. We lost Matt Hankins, pretty good player. Belton, pretty good player. And then Jack Kerner, pretty good player. So we lost 3 really key guys. And I know, we missed Matt for a while with injury. But, before we announced ourselves ready to roll on defense, we still got some work to do. So there's opportunity back there for those guys. And as I mentioned yesterday, Cooper, we're playing him in a lot of positions. But he seems to handle that well. Ultimately, it's about getting the best 4, then the best 5 guys ready to roll, and that void of those 3 guys, that's significant. And Jamari's not working right now either, so it makes it a little bit dicey.
At kicker, this can often be a separation type of Saturday when you have fans and you're in the stadium, but they go 15 for 15 from different hashes, different depths. Now to make it more difficult than maybe it would have been coming into it.
And it's not difficult. That's good. So it means we have 2 kickers. That's how I look at that. If we can continue, and they've been doing a good job. Previous 9 days they've been doing well. But last spring it was not real encouraging. Not, as I said, I think publicly the potential was there, but not the consistency. So now the challenge is to be able to do it on Saturdays when it counts. But it's a good step for them. That was a real good takeaway today.
Couple more. What challenges does it pose in terms of making overall conclusions when you have these many players out?
Some guys we know more about, and Mick DeYoung's a good example. He just had a lower leg injury. He was practicing well. We've seen him in game action, and he's practicing better than he was playing last year. So, you know, to me, when he gets back, it's going to be a matter of where's he at. Mason, I'd say the same thing. So, you know, it just kind of depends on the individual. Each case is a little bit different. And those guys would be getting the frustrating part. You can't do anything about it, but you just know they'd be getting better if they were getting every day's work. So, you know, that's the way it is. That's the nature of football, and it creates opportunity for somebody else to get some of that work, and maybe they'll get better too than they think they are. So, you know, each case is a different discussion, but, you know, perfect world, you wish everybody's getting every rep that they could.
Is Graves in the Army, so to speak, as you say, in terms of true freshmen that are going to play?
I think so, based on today.
Yeah. And does he help Van Ness stay outside, essentially?
We have a little more depth in that group. But, yeah, we'll have that discussion probably end of the week or next weekend. But just the way he's practicing, I think, yeah, we'd be crazy to say, you know, we're going to redshirt him. I mean, that'd be stupid on our part right now. And at some point we may say it, but right now he's got a lot to learn. But, boy, his tempo and his he belongs on the field with the older guys. Like, he goes hard and makes them work, which makes us have better practices.
All right. Thanks,
Sounds good.
guys.